people, Deluded, I'm back again. Soho Square settings. Now I apologise for not bringing out videos earlier. I've actually feeling like Mesut Ozil got the flu, people. I woke up this morning, just didn't have it in me, but I've been dosing up on the painkillers, I've been drinking Rare Nef, obviously I've got the honey and ginger on deck, and I think I'm good to go. You know DG, I'm hard as nails, man. Not even death is going to stop me bringing out vids. You don't think there'll be Deluded vids when videos drop? I mean, when I die, you don't think videos will drop from the grave? Come on, you know my thing. But moving on, I'll probably be like Bill Gates. I know them rich donnies there got them things where they freeze their bodies and they're never dying, so I'm going to be on a thing like that. But on a serious note, couple of talking points. Now we are going to be playing against Olympiacos later, so there's not really that many talking points, but what I do have, let's crack on. The first one is allegedly Arsenal have already indicated that they will permanently sign Pablo Mari. Flamingo already considered a sale which could reach 16 million euros with the loan fee and performance basis to be underway. Now obviously I think, again, I don't know this to be fact, I don't know this to be true, but I think you will see the first of Mari. For the people that like the pigeon gang, look, the man them are here, the man them are here. What are you man saying? No motive, no motive. Go on, run up on mine, man. But moving forward, we knew Pablo Mari was probably going to be a permanent signing, and this was going to be a settling in period for him, really, and it was a permanent signing in all but name. Like I was going to say, I think the earliest I don't know this to be true, but I think he will start against Portsmouth in the FA Cup, purely because there's been a lot of turnaround in terms of games, and that will be the earliest indication for me in which Arteta could probably, again, you have to respect the competition and respect Portsmouth, in which the players do, but be the first time where you could, I won't say take the handbrake off, but we can be a tiny bit more experimental with the lineup. Pardon me, we would have potentially seen players be rested today if we beat Olympiacos by a bigger goal margin. Obviously it's 1-0, there's 90 minutes to play, who knows what's going to happen in that game. So we don't really know. Well, we've seen clips and we've obviously watched the Club World Cup. We actually don't know Pablo Mari's base level yet. I watched him playing the under-23s game and he looked decent. He could have done better for one of the goals. But if it's going to be a permanent signing, it's going to be a permanent signing. And I still even think, and I'm sure a lot of you do, even regardless of Mari's signing, we need another centre-half. So there's a lot of centre-halves on our books, people, and we're going to have to make some tough decisions. There's young players. Do we say forget these young players? There's 3 experienced players all running out of the contract at the same time, where all of them have been in good form. Do we remove sentiment and just look at it like, okay, cool, you've been in decent form, but we need players that we can rely on, sort of thing? Because for me personally, I wanted to see it under Emery. I never saw it. I can now see a thing where it's easy for me to say, now it's as simple as bringing in a couple of better centre halves, or maybe looking at a right back and things like that. Because you can already see a structure. It's not perfect, but you can see a structure. You can see us defending better. You can see a structure and a new sort of thinking in regards to how we approach defending. Now I believe it's as white and black as a new centre-half for all these things coming in. We've obviously got Saliba. Mari's obviously just come into the club, so they'll be part of it. Chambers, I think, regardless of his injury, deserves a chance, because he was one that could have been moved on in the summer, and he's done very well to do his thing. Holding, you lot know me, I'm a big Holding fan. I'm a big fan of a lot of these young players, and all of them got potential, but by the same token, by my own things, I'm feeling a bit ruthless, people, in that Reece Nelson, Maitland-Niles, my man who I've just said, Holding, all of these young players, Eddie and Ketty, all of these young players around the team, I don't want to sell them. My heart is to say not to sell them. They need to be part of this team moving forward, or go and make profit. But by the same token, I think, can you get a 20 for Eddie? Can you get a 20 for Nelson? Can you get a 20 for Emil? Could you do something for Maitland and slap that all into doing other things? Because again, I want them all to play, but simply playing devil's advocate with myself. And I know not all young players are the same, but it's like Saka and Martinelli, they've shown they're on this thing. We've got a lot of young players that need an arm around them. Should we be a bit ruthless? Of course, I'm not saying to sell any of them, but that's just me playing devil's advocate purely with myself, so I have a duty to mention it, people. There's big decisions all over the side to be made. Speaking of centre-halves, Frank Lampard allegedly has made Leipzig's Daya Upamecano his #1 target. As you lot know, Arsenal are still keen. This is coming out of the Mirror, and Bayern Munich. So you've got Chelsea, Arsenal, Bayern Munich. He's got a decision to make. El Nene has spoken in relation to Mesut Ozil, and he has said, Mesut really loves Fenerbahce. He always goes on about them. If you ask me if he can move to Fenerbahce, he likes to try and wind me up by singing their songs. Obviously, we know El Nene is playing for Besiktas, and Ozil's a bit of banter, but obviously Ozil's got Turkish roots. He's going to be a fan of of a certain team. If it's not Galatasaray, it's going to be Fenerbahce, and there's been a lot of talk of going there. My guess is when his contract does run out, whether he's moved on this summer or allowed to stay until it runs out, he will go to MLS because he's got business interests specifically in DC. I think the way Mesut Ozil is and his marketing and things like that, it would make sense to go to the US for me personally. But obviously he's of Turkish descent. To go to Fenerbahce, to feel important, to be with, you know, to call Turkish football fans football crazy is an understatement. Them man there, even the Turkish-born people that I mess with, them man there, I thought I was passionate about football. Them man there is serious people. I remember I was watching 2 Turkish teams play at New River, and then someone beat up the ref. Them man there are passionate. So to play for a team like that, big crowds, big all them thing there, obviously Turkish descent, I'm sure, I'll poke my eye people, I'm blind. I'm sure a lot of people in Mesut Ozil's close circle and family would love to see that, man. And yeah, it could be something that Mesut Ozil goes and does, people, but that's down to him. Moving on with Lacazette. Yesterday I made a video, ironically, in the same space where I said Lacazette, we all seen Lacazette's contract or something about he can leave if we don't get Champions League. I think he will get a Champions League club, but his form really and truly, you know, he shouldn't really. But moving forward, he has said, and if he has a deal with Arsenal, that he can leave if the club don't qualify for the Champions League. I don't know about this. I have a contract with the club. There's no point for me to leave. Everyone is happy with me at the club. Now, I think Lacazette wants to stay. I think he, you know, London life, he's very stable here. But naturally, he's not going to come out and say, yes, there is a clause, really. He does want to play Champions League. There's a big token for him and Aubameyang coming to Arsenal, helping us get back in there. At 28, turning 29, he's got a big decision to make. Does he stay at Arsenal, extend his contract if we give that to him and play his time here, or does he move on? Because this is the lowest I've potentially seen Lacazette, not just at Arsenal, but at Lyon as well in terms of goal scoring and whatnot. Obviously, he's got to think about his last payday. He's got to think about where he can win sporting trophies. I don't want to say his French career is over, but on the eve of the Euros, having not gone to the World Cup, is it likely you're going to go to the Euros? No. So there's a lot of things for him to consider, people, really and truly. He's not going to come out and say there is contract. I like Lacazette, but I'm not going to lie. During his time at Arsenal, and I want to be fair to him because he was player of the season, this is probably the biggest period I'm entertaining the idea, yo, if we could sell Lacazette, you know, do some other things in the market. I wouldn't force him out, but with his contract, with maybe selling him to give peace to, I don't know, Aubameyang, there's things to do. Even if Aubameyang is going to stay or go. Aubameyang's come out on Twitter and said the media love talking about things they don't know. Apparently he's leaning to a contract extension. Aubameyang, I love you, please sign a new deal. But until you sign the backside contract, everything's worse. Don't forget young Bukayo Saka. Make sure you sign the thing, rude boy. I need my African kings to stay at this club. Make sure you sign them deals. My word, and Raul Sanya, I'm looking at you as well, you know, Gigi, because you were saying contract business not going to happen anymore, and I'm seeing Bukayo Saka and Aubameyang, our top goal scorer, one of the best, if not the best striker in the league, running out. It's a bit mad, people, it's a bit mad, and we've been down this road. Speaking of strikers, and Arteta had a cheeky little dig at Kane. He said, on whether he thinks Aubameyang's goals deserve to be rewarded with trophies, he was obviously asked this. He said, Harry Kane has scored 30 goals but has never won the Premier League, you know. Obviously that was a smart and strategic dig, but again, there was a bit of truth behind it. Kane and Aubameyang deserve their plaudits regardless of their team's lack of success, people. Moving back to Aubameyang, Lacazette, sorry, he said, a lot of people can talk. There's always something to say, so I don't really think about this. If the manager, the coach, my teammates are happy with me, then that's the most important thing. Of course, he cares about the fans, and he didn't say it, but he cares about the fans' opinion. But it's similar to Mustafi. I and you lot were saying, you know, Mustafi, you're past it and this and that. Arteta said he believes in him. That's the only opinion you need to worry about, and he's reacted from that. So to a degree, regardless of what we think about Lacazette, evidently he's in poor form, people. Let's call a spade a spade. But if we listen, he just needs, as long as the manager's happy with him, which he's not entirely, because you've lost your space in the side for Eddie and Nketiah, and you're now the young striker in that you're doing up cup competition, so you need to fix up. But it's true. Going back to Aubameyang as well, people. Well, Kolasinac firstly, he said, Arteta said, he's seeing the specialist today, but yes, he was in pain. It's a difficult area, and we're not really positive about it. Hopefully, he will play again this season, but I don't know. It's dependent on whether he's dislocated it and if he needs surgery or not. So, Kolasinac, I'd say he's fighting for his career and fighting for his Arsenal career, Carl. You've got Saka complicating things. Tierney's brought into the club and to come back. Obviously, he's contracted until 2022. He's on fairly big wages. If he's not going to be first or like used frequently at fullback, he's potentially someone that could be moved on. And I'm sure, like a lot of these players, he's comfortable in London, comfortable with the team, and he probably doesn't want to leave. So if he has played he's potentially played his last game for the club then, really, because he is probably, I don't want to sell Kolasinac, but he's one of them. If the right offer comes, you might have to entertain it, because you've got Saka, you've got Martinelli, you've got Saka, you've got Tierney, Suarez allegedly can be used there, Maitland-Niles, if he's still here, can be used there. We're being linked with Cuenca and, not Cuenca, I can never say his name, you don't know I'm talking about, the former Barca lad, the winger. He's been linked with a couple of teams, Mark Colsella, Cuenca, I can never say his name, but you know who I'm talking about, people. I don't know what going for Arteta, what he's going to do, but if he has played his last game, it sucks, people, to lose him, because there's still a lot of football to be played. We're still trying to get top 4, 5, whether it can be done or not, and we're still trying to get to the Europa League final. So it's a madness. Arteta also said, going back to the Kane thing, he said, unfortunately in this country there's a lot of top teams and only one wins the league. You can't have everything in life, that's true. I mean, one Lambo and everything there, the Kia and everything. So, going back to my guy, I just like hearing the Aubameyang comments. He said, it is remarkable what he's doing and how consistent he has been over the years to do it, which is very difficult to do. I think we all appreciate, at least at the club, his values and what he brings to us. In the long term, if you lose him, the impact is obvious. It is very difficult to replace a player of that caliber. Hopefully we can keep him and we don't have an issue to resolve. And that's fully true, because people are saying you can get 50 to 70 for Aubameyang depending on his contract. If you was even to get 70, you have to slap all of that back on a striker in which you believe can get 20 league goals. Because again, Aubameyang's got a lot of other qualities, but I think people really do underestimate the fact that he's always fit, but the fact that he guarantees 20 league goals. Whether you're winning league titles, whether you're trying to get that, people, as you lot know, technology is a bitch. But by now I've gone back in, I've charged my computer, I've charged the camera. Like I was saying, it doesn't matter if you're fighting relegation, trying to stay in leagues, trying to get a top 4 Europa League finish. In the same way defence makes the difference, strikers make the difference. A 20 league goal scorer, that makes the difference. I mean, you look at Liverpool, if they never, Liverpool's an anomaly because they ain't got a striker of such, but could you imagine if Mane and Salah didn't score these goals? Could you imagine if Sergio, historically at City, didn't score these goals? Could you fucking imagine where Arsenal would be if Aubameyang didn't score these goals? And could you imagine if we played to Aubameyang's strength? Like, I know he's played on the left and stuff, but could you imagine he played through the middle? We always tried to find him on the last shoulder, because there's not too many Aubameyang goals that he's really got to score. Off the top of my head, the one that's against Spurs over the top from Guendouzi, the one the other week, apologies for the noise, the one the other week against David Luiz where he set him up. Was it Palace where Ozil, Laka, all of them man there were involved and Aubameyang finished it. There's not too many what I'd call Aubameyang finishes, so it's nothing short of a miracle that he's thrived in this side and that's been turbulent times, and this mark of a quality player. I would love him to stay, I'd love him to sign a new deal. Similar to, there's a lot of, I've said it already, I don't feel every fan will, regardless of what decision they take on Aubameyang's future, we won't be able to have everybody on side. What I mean by that is, if I'm actually not against if you bring in the centre half, a central midfielder, fix up the team, keeping Aubameyang for a year and letting him run down his deal. If he signs a new deal, he doesn't. He does. If he helps us get top 4, it is what it is. We've accomplished it. Many fans won't accept that because you're letting an asset like Aubameyang walk out the door for free. So if we sell him now, people are going to say the same thing, because we're going to need to bring in another centre-half, striker, sorry. And again, can we bring in a top quality striker that's getting 20 league goals? If you can find one, go and tell me that we can afford. And that's obviously going to put a lot of scrutiny on Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah, because I think they're both good strikers and they can both chip in. Are either good enough to carry this team alone? No. If we never had no other strikers in this team, Aubameyang's good enough to get 20 league goals, so we wouldn't need another striker, excluding injuries, etc. You can't say the same without the others. I'm a big fan of Eddie. He's not that right now. He might be that one day, he's not that. Lacazette's in his prime of his career, he's not that. He's failed to score 20 league goals at this club since he's been here, as good as he is. So I apologise for that, for it cutting out, people. But I'd like to just end this lastly on Mikel Arteta again. He has spoken in relation to a couple of things. He said, we have 3 different routes to Europe. We have to try to maximise the 3 of them, and we go game by game. That's all we can do at the moment, because the objectives are still so far behind. We need to win a lot of games. We need to put a very consistent run together, and we've just won 2 games, which is not enough. So again, if we need to, again, couple of months ago, I was saying this season's a write-off. It's over. There's no point focusing on it, and I still believe that to a different degree. I think all I want to see is what I'm being shown already from Arteta. You know, we're working towards what sort of team we want to be long term. Where, you know, all of these sort of things, defensively and offensively, the structure in that. That's all I felt it could be. Experience for the young players and experience for everyone with the tactics and unlearning potential bad habits. And I still think that's our season. If you was to ask me to bet a significant amount of my savings, which is not much because I'm not rich, which makes the point, that Arsenal would win the Europa League, I would have to say no, because I'm not an idiot. I don't believe in it really. I'll support the team. We got to the final, so we can do it. Top 4, mathematically it's possible. Will we do it? You're asking on a lot. We have to go on a consistent run. We need to see other teams drop points, and we do need the rub of the green people. So, Europa League, Champions League spot. Obviously, again, I'm not too sure what he means about 3 routes into Europe. I assume he means 4th and 5th with City's impending sort of case that's going on. If he does, then of course we've got to focus on that. But you see, I don't want to focus on the 15 people, because we could do all we need to do, and they come around, City come around and bust case. What are you saying, G? Spud, man. Spud me. What are you saying? Actually, like you don't know, man, on the camera and that. After we was together yesterday. Saying that, I'm not going to bring you. Man, that's some galley for you as well. See the thing we was with yesterday? She said you were nice, you know. Watch, pagan you. But on a serious note, people, like, 5th could get sucked away, but we owe it to ourselves to just simply put pride in our performance, finish the season in the best way we can, win games just for, maybe not even necessarily top 4 and 5, just for that winning spirit and that mentality, because I want these players to think about what Arteta's done for them and how they are under Arteta. I also want them to remember how the season went wrong under Unai Emery and whatnot, because as much as it was Emery, it wasn't just him. It weren't just him, you lot were playing. So what I want to see is we take accountability and we remember how it felt to lose, remember how it felt with these question marks of not just how you are as a player, but as a person, as a human that hurts, and use that to drive you to finish next season stronger. Car I don't want to be in this position. I want to get 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It's nailed on sort of thing. I want to do what Chelsea did. Chelsea are messing it up right now. But how many months this season was Chelsea running away with 4th, and people saying it's a madness? That's what I want to see, man. I want to see better clean sheets. I want to see us scoring better goals, playing better football. All the things I don't need to list to you lot. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, people, I apologise for the technical difficulties we experienced. Hopefully later today we are victorious against Olympiacos. Sadly, I'm not going to be at the game. I physically can't. I can watch it, but I can't because I finish work very late. I finish work late, and I need to go to somewhere. I need to go somewhere before I go home and watch the game. So it's physically impossible for me. But hopefully that's not the case all the time. And it's really unprofessional of me to just take out chewing gum out my pocket and put it in my mouth. I apologise for that. So on that note, clearly it's time for DG to keep it moving. DG, I'm out. Thank you for watching and supporting. As I believe we're what? I believe we're 100 off people. 20k. That's a madness for me. People can belittle that achievement, but that might as well be 20 million. I might pop some champagne. Like 20,000 subscribers off a phone, off a camera, sorry. I know a lot of you remember when it was this, and you lot couldn't take the noise. Like, I really rate you lot, because you lot persevered with a lot, man. And that's why I rate DG Nation, because you lot are not, obviously we're trying to improve and look a bit more professional in that, but fundamentally, you lot are here for the content, the knowledge, the content, the talking points, and just speaking about football for what it is in its purest form. I can't not praise you lot enough for that, but yeah, man, let me do you lot a service and get the hell out of you lot's hair. See you lot later, man. DG.